Mounce, BBG, chapter 35, sentence 6. Probably looks tougher than it is once you get into it. I think you'll see it's not that bad. So starts with and when, and then you have this verb which comes from ago, but instead of agusin, which would be the third plural present active indicative, you have this agosin. So this should tell you got a present active subjunctive governed by the hatan. So you're just going to simply translate it as and when they lead y'all. And then you have paradidentis. If you didn't know paradidomi, you'd probably be able to figure that out. Just that prefix real easily as a preposition. Didomi, so that's easy enough. Then you see the participial morpheme tells you it's present active, and that goes along with it being paradidomi. And then you have this nominative masculine plural ending. So paradidomi can have the idea of entrusting something to somebody, or simply giving them something, or in a negative connotation, handing something over. And of course, in this context, you probably may remember that he's talking about them being persecuted. So in this case, you're going to do something like, and when they lead you, when they lead you, handing y'all over, something like that. And then he says, do not worry ahead of time. And here with the may, you might think of this as just a simple promerimnao is a contract verb and a present active indicative kind of thing, but this obvious second plural, which is not going to be any different from the imperative. And put together with the may, you're going to want to do this as an imperative and say, don't worry ahead of time. And the idea is, y'all, none of you should worry ahead of time. So don't worry ahead of time. What? And then here, la leseta. Okay, so what you recognize, you ought to recognize this second plural ending. You ought to recognize this elongated connecting vowel here, so that tells you that it's a subjunctive. And then it's from laleo, but you see this sigma, so you go, oh, okay, it's an aorist subjunctive, and it's second plural. So aorist active subjunctive second plural from laleo. So what you might say, or what you might speak, whatever one of those you want to go with, but whatever, right? Whatever. And then you have dothe. If you didn't know any better, you pick it apart and you kind of go, all right, I know that's probably didomy. That probably tells me it's passive. This tells me it's probably subjunctive, and that it's probably third singular. And guess what? You'd be right on every single count. So put with the hoeon, it's whatever might be given to y'all in that hour. And you notice the string is going to go together. The string is going to go together because you have all those feminine singular dative things to tell you that they're all a part of that prepositional phrase, just starting with the preposition en. So but whatever might be given to y'all, or maybe given to y'all in that hour, this you speak. And in other words, the idea is, and again, what you have is the second plural, and you say, well, is he given an indicative or an imperative? And I think in this case, you're going to run with an imperative because, he says, don't worry, but whatever's given to you, say this, speak this or say this. So I would take the laleo, this coming from laleo, but I would take this as a present active imperative, second plural, and say something like say or speak. Probably the way I would say it is say this. Whatever might be given to you in that hour, say this. is sort of the idea. For not, here you go. For y'all are not, and then you have obvious substantival participle here, again from laleo, but in this case you have that participle morpheme tells you it's active. Then you got the masculine singular nominative ending there. I'm sorry, masculine plural nominative. Excuse me for that mistake. Masculine plural nominative ending, and of course referring back here to the humes. So he says, for y'all are not the one speaking, treating this as a substantival participle, the one speaking, often going to get translated as the ones who are speaking, but I would just say the one speaking, and that in any case you're going to go on but, and then of course to pneuma, to hagion, the Holy Spirit. In other words, the verb is going to ellipse, or in this case, the verbal idea is going to ellipse here. The idea is that it's the Holy Spirit who is speaking. So now we go back to the beginning, do it one more time all the way through, and when they lead y'all, or when they lead y'all, and then you almost have to insert, because it's handing over, but it's they're doing the leading, they're doing the handing over. So in this case, you probably want to do something like before handing you over, if you wanted to have a smooth translation. So, and when they lead y'all before handing you over, and you're going to insert the word you, because that's who it is. Do not worry ahead of time what you might say, but whatever might be given to you in that hour, say this. For y'all are not the one speaking, but the Holy Spirit.